Morning guys, welcome back to KC Farms. I hope everyone had a great 4th of July weekend. We had a great time with family and friends, and we are getting ready to move some Novagens out. They're 2 weeks old and the weather's beautiful, so we are comfortable moving those guys out right now. And we harvested one batch of Cornish this last week, and this is the next batch we are getting ready to harvest. In about 2 weeks these guys will be ready, so excited about that. Another class will be coming up, a harvesting class with those guys. Excited to share our little bit of knowledge with people if wanting to raise their own food. But let's get these Novagens out. We have not lost one yet, so that's pretty awesome. I do want to show you our little garden. We don't do many gardening videos because we haven't been very successful, but we're getting better each year. And we did these 2 raised beds this year, and these have been awesome. So we've got some tomatoes starting. These are so easy to maintain and weed and take care of, and we're getting a little bit of success going on, so it makes us more excited to learn and plant and grow more of our own food. So these are just super sweet cherry tomatoes. We've got some peppers coming along here. I don't think I've seen any peppers yet. And we've got a late start to our garden, so a lot of our stuff is smaller than I'm sure what your guys' is right now. But then we got a couple larger tomatoes. I can't remember what kind these are, but these are starting to come in too. But we will definitely be adding more raised beds in the future. It's just really easy to maintain, and it's nice to have some success to keep you motivated. So let's run in here, check out these Novagens, and we'll get them moved out. All right, here they are, guys. 2 weeks old, doing well. And we're gonna get them outside today. I'm sure they're excited. We haven't, like I said, we haven't lost one, so they're just really good birds. I'm a little stressed about, not really stressed, but I'm just not sure we'll continue to raise this breed, Freedom Rangers. I don't know why I think I said Novagen. These are Freedom Rangers, and just not sure if the extra time to raise out will be worth it. But I am keeping track. I'm gonna keep track of feed input and the amount of time it takes on these guys. We got another batch of Cornish cross coming in next week, and I'm gonna try to do my best. I've tried to maintain time and how much feed and all that, and then we've lost some birds, so I've stopped keeping track and haven't done a great job of keeping numbers, but we did do a thing. Our garage is quite a mess here. We've got some fencing, excited about that. We went and bought in bulk feed, which that bill hurt, but we're gonna end up buying it anyway, and we were able to get some money off buying in bulk. So it'll be nice not to run to town every week. We got some pig feed over there, and so that'll be good. Hurts at first with that big bill, but like I said, we're gonna be paying for it anyway eventually, and now I don't have to run to town as much. So let's get these Freedom Rangers outside and enjoy their first time on grass. We got them down here right next to the Cornish. That way it's just easier to feed. One stop instead of 2. I was able to tie this up. We just have a single wire going up here. When I was butchering, I could get that tied up along the side out of my way so I don't have to mess with it. We'll get that adjusted to the right height for these little chicks. Let's go inside and grab them. Okay, well, the Freedom Rangers get their freedom on July 4th weekend. Didn't mean for that to happen, that's just the way it worked out. But we're gonna get the feed and water in here. I already put the water in, put a little apple cider vinegar in there. Just always helps as an overall health thing. Sometimes if we ever see our birds getting a little bit of diarrhea or really wet stool, we put some apple cider. We always start them on apple cider vinegar, just gives them an overall good start to their lives. So we're gonna get this down, figure out what's low enough for them. I like to use the pans out here, especially in the pasture, because this ground is not very level, and sometimes those waters just leak right out if they're not perfectly level. So let's get this feeder adjusted, get some feed in it, and we'll make sure they can find everything before we leave them for the day. All right, we've got that set. It's pretty low right now, just to make sure they can get in it. Try and move these guys around a little bit. They definitely are a lot cuter than the Cornish cross. Don't know if that's gonna help anything, but they're definitely a cuter bird. Doing well out here on grass. And we'll see. I'm not 100% sold just because of the time and the feed, but we are going to keep track of that and see if it is worth our while. We have been going to some markets and selling, and that's been exciting to get some income on the farm, but more so than just income, like we know we're feeding families healthy food. And yes, like we've been told already at the markets, you can get it cheaper at the grocery store. Yes, you can definitely get it cheaper, but I guarantee it's not raised as good and it doesn't taste as good either. So but we are excited to be able to start offering this to local families, and we've had a good time just meeting families and knowing them. We're giving them the best product that they can buy. So anyway, we'll keep track on these guys. They're 2 weeks old. I'll be out here checking on them throughout the day, just make sure they're finding everything. That water might be a little high for them, but let's get somebody dipped in here just so they know. Oh yeah, they can reach. So they'll know where that is. Anyway, we got one more little update I want to show you before we go. So Freedom Rangers are free on grass. We may end up just putting a big fence around this, open it up, letting them get out and forage wherever they want. Cornish cross doing well. Moving these guys twice a day now just to make sure they're off their manure. The bigger they get, the more often you need to move them. So these are doing well. Lawn's getting fertilized fantastic with all this manure, but better than that, they are out living a great life. So let's run up here to the barn. A couple quick updates that I want to show you guys before we go. Let's go. Well, I've been working on our last chickshaw. I say last, I'm sure there'll be more, but it is a beast. I've been using that rough cut lumber, so much cheaper, but it is heavier. And I built this one 2 feet off the ground just to give them some extra room underneath in the shade. We're almost done. The door was a problem because the regular door that he builds, it would have been so steep coming down, so I just built one that you can slide. I'm not happy with it. Weighs about 20 pounds. It's big heavy wood, but this one is pretty much done and ready to go outside. I just need to get some baskets. I only got 1 basket. Need to get 3 more baskets to close off our the back there for the laying boxes. So once we get that done, the Whiting True Blues will be out of their outdoor brooder spot. But here's the other thing I wanted to show you. We got 20 some silver apple yard eggs, and we put this out in the barn this time. These were the unfertile ones, so that was kind of disappointing, but they are supposed to be hatching tomorrow or the next day. We got them on lockdown here. Not sure I see any pipping yet. Oh, there is actually one. I don't know if you can see that. That one right in the back there started to pip and come out. So be keeping a close eye on these. We've had a lot of them fully formed and just not been able to get out the eggs. So if I need to help, I'm going to help them. But that is our last chickshaw for now. And I'll show you these whiting true blues. It's been a while since we've seen them. They've been in this outdoor brooder. It'll be nice to get them out of that, get that cleaned, and let that sit for a little bit till we need it again. And a lot of times they hang out inside during the day. Probably need to put some shade cloths out, but once I move them out with the chickshaws, we'll get them up under some trees and stuff so they can all go and hang out outside a little more. They're very active in the morning and evenings, but in the afternoon when it's hot, they chill out here in the brooder. So here they are. That is a Welsomer rooster. We do have 2 of those to breed with our Welsomers, but here they are. It's funny, I built the roosting bar here. Normally they don't hang on it. They sleep up in the sides of this, a couple on that little bar, but they're getting nice and big. I'll have to remember, I don't remember how old they are now, but we'll check on them to see when they're start to lay. So I think I do have the one rooster over here, the white with the brown. I'm pretty sure that's my whiting true blue rooster. And like I said, these 2 are the Welsomer roosters, but we'll be breaking these guys out of the brooder area here. We have been moving this fence around, so they do have fresh grass available to them. But once I get those baskets, or I may just block it off with a piece of wire for now so I can get them and start moving them around. They'll be out of the brooder and moving on some fresh grass. So next video, there's a couple more updates about chickens, some more exciting things going on. Don't want to give it all away right now, but if you haven't already, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Appreciate you guys following along. We'll see you on the next video.